Congratulations on your choice of a WALINGA central vacuum system. Watching this video is not a substitute to reading the operator's manual. Safe, efficient, and trouble-free operation of WALINGA equipment requires that you and anyone else who will be operating or maintaining WALINGA machinery read and understand the safety, operation, maintenance, and troubleshooting information contained within the WALINGA operator's manual. Only trained, competent persons shall operate the central vacuum system. An untrained operator is not qualified to operate this machine. Review safety instructions with all personnel annually. Be sure and register WALINGA's all-inclusive 2-year warranty. Before supplying electrical power to the machine, be sure you have adequate amperage at the proper phase and voltage to run it. If you do not know or are unsure, consult a licensed electrician. General operating safety. Clear the area of all bystanders, especially small children, before starting. Make certain that all electrical switches are in the off position before plugging in the central vacuum system. Do not operate when any guards are damaged or removed. Install and secure guards before starting. Keep hands, feet, clothing, and hair away from all moving or rotating parts. Do not place intake nozzle near feet when standing on the top of grain. The nozzle can pick up sufficient material to draw the operator into the pile and suffocate them. Wear appropriate protective gear. This includes, but is not limited to, a hard hat, protective slip-resistant shoes, protective eyewear, heavy gloves, and hearing protection. Always disconnect power before resetting any motor or breaker overload. Turn machine off. Shut down and lock out tagout power supply and wait for all moving parts to stop before servicing, adjusting, maintaining, repairing, cleaning, or unplugging. Provide locks and tags at the worksite with a sign-up sheet to record tagout details. Do not perform any service or maintenance work unless loader is off and the power locked out. Establish a formal lockout-tagout program for your operation. Inspect and replace any damaged electrical plugs, cords, switches, and components immediately. Regularly check continuity of all couplings. Ensure all hoses and wands are properly grounded to prevent static buildup, electrical discharge, or shock. Machine components. The central vacuum system design utilizes a positive displacement blower to draw air. An electric motor powers the blower through a set of belts. A large intake filter removes dust from the air before it enters the blower. Seed, powder, or other loose granular material is drawn into the system through the wands and hoses. Material falls out of the airstream when it enters the receiver cyclone. Material then drops through the turning airlock and is discharged from the system. Figure 1. Machine components. Electric motor, intake wand, belt drive cover, pickup point, blower, flapper valve, intake filter, self-dumping bin, air lines, reducing coupler, collector cyclone, crevice tool, airlock, controls, chain drive cover, vacuum relief valve, intake hose. Machine break-in. Although there are no operational restrictions on the central vacuum system when used for the first time, it is recommended that the following mechanical items be checked. Pre-operation checklist. Efficient and safe operation of the WALINGA central vacuum system requires that each operator read and understand the operating procedures and all related safety precautions. A pre-operation checklist is provided for the operator. Following the checklist helps ensure personal safety and optimal machine performance. Before operating the vacuum and every time thereafter, remove power and always follow lockout-tagout procedures. Lubricate the machine per the schedule outlined in Section 5 Service and Maintenance. Check the oil level in the blower reservoirs. Inspect all airlines, hoses, fittings, and cam lock couplers for sealing and tightness. Open intake filter canister. Remove coarse material from assembly and clean filter. Open flapper door on the bottom of secondary cyclone and empty compartment. Close and secure flapper. Check that the blower and airlock turn freely. Check for and remove entangled material. Attach hose to cam lock coupler. Attach the components required to pick up the dust or granular material as appropriate for your application. Position hopper bin under airlock discharge. Close and secure all guards. Blower bump test. Remove power, lock out, tag out the power source. Remove belt cover 9/16" bolt, open hinge cover forward. Check belt condition and tension. Tension should be 5/16 inch deflection, with 3.8 to 5.7 pounds weight for 10 horsepower motor, and the same 5/16 deflection, but with 6.5 to 9.6 weight for 15, 20, and 25 horsepower motors. Consult service manual for belt replacement and adjustment procedure. Ensure hands and any loose clothing are clear of moving parts. Note direction of rotation on cover decal. Quickly switch power on and then off. The bump. Confirm belt direction matches decal. Airlock bump test. Remove power, lock out, tag out power source. Remove belt cover 9/16" bolt. Open hinge cover forward. Check chain condition and tension. Tension should be 1/4 inch deflection. Consult service manual for chain replacement and adjustment procedure. Ensure hands and any loose clothing are clear of moving parts. Note direction of rotation on cover decal. Quickly switch power on and then off. The bump. Confirm chain direction matches decal. Return covers and tighten the SAE8 9/16" bolts to 220 Nm or 165 pounds-feet. Fastener torque specifications are listed in the owner's manual. After first 30 minutes of operation, retorque all fasteners and hardware. Turn blower and airlock by hand. Be sure that they turn freely. Open and clean the pre-cleaner door, filter, and tank. Check that no hoses are pinched, rubbing, or being crimped. Realign as required. Check oil level in reservoirs. Add as required. Lubricate all grease fittings as per Section 5. Return covers and tighten the SAE8 9/16" bolts to 220 Nm or 165 pounds-feet. Fastener torque specifications are listed in the owner's manual. After the first 5 hours of operation and then again at 10 hours of operation, retorque all bolts, fasteners, and hardware. Check hose routing. Check that blower and airlock turn freely. Check oil level in reservoirs. Then follow normal servicing and maintenance schedule as defined in the maintenance section. Always perform daily filter and bin cleanings and fluid level checks. Perform the weekly, 100-hour, 6-month, and annual maintenance checkups as defined in the maintenance schedule of the owner's manual. Master Control Panel. Start. This green 2-position push-button switch is used to turn power on to the control panel. Depress the switch to turn power on. When power is on, the switch will illuminate. Stop. This red 2-position push-button switch is used to turn the power off to the control panel. Depress the switch to turn power off. When the red switch is depressed, the green start switch light will go off. Airlock. This light is illuminated when the airlock is running and goes out when it stops. Important! The airlock is designed to run for approximately 30 seconds before the blower turns on and will continue for 30 seconds after the blower shuts down. This ensures the collecting cyclone is empty before introducing more material into the system. Blower. This light is illuminated while blower is running and goes out when blower stops. Reset blower left. This lighted switch monitors the status of the blower's circuit breaker inside the panel. For normal operation, the light is off. If the blower circuit becomes overloaded, the circuit breaker will trip and this switch will be illuminated. Correct the problem, and then depress the switch to reset the breaker. Reset airlock right. This lighted switch monitors the status of the airlock circuit breaker inside the panel. For normal operation, the light is off. If the airlock circuit becomes overloaded, the circuit breaker will trip and the switch will be illuminated. Correct the problem and depress the switch to reset the breaker. The big red switch. Power disconnects. Every system is designed with switches close to the machines that allow the operator to disconnect power to the respective motors as required. Turn the switch into its vertical configuration to provide power to the motor and horizontal to disconnect power. Always lock out, tag out when servicing. Starting machine. Check that the master panel is not locked out. If it is, identify cause and retrieve the tag. Turn master panel on. Turn power disconnect switches on. Turn power on at the master control panel. Important: when machine is turned on, the airlock will start and run 30 seconds before the blower will start. Stopping machine. Turn the machine off using the stop switch. This will shut down both the blower and the airlock. Important. When machine is turned off, the airlock will run another 30 seconds after the blower stops. Gathering material. Use the open end of the tube, nozzle, or wands to pick up material. Several types of tubes or wands are available to use. The operator can select the one most appropriate for their application. For larger spills, use 3-inch intake lines and tools. For smaller housekeeping duties, use the 2-inch lines. Important, system may plug if a 2-inch line is used for larger spills. Air slide. Each wand is designed with an air slide on the tube. It's used to control the mixture of air and gathered material entering the machine. Always move the wand, ensuring sufficient air enters the system to move the material and cool the blower. Do not starve the system for air. Nozzle position. Do not place the nozzle between your feet when picking up a deep pile of granular material. The nozzle can pick up sufficient material to draw the operator into the pile and suffocate them. Always pick up material away from nozzle. System grounding. Granular material flowing through the pipes, hoses, or lines will generate static buildup that can create electrical discharges or sparks. This static charge condition can be very uncomfortable and annoying to an operator. In high-dust environments, sparks or electrical discharges can set off an explosion. The system is designed using aluminum lines and compression couplers, complete with ground strips on all fittings. A metal spiral strand in the hose is attached to each fitting and metal pickup components to maintain electrical ground continuity through the entire system. Only when non-metal components are used or the electrical continuity is broken can sparks or shocks occur. Using an ohmmeter, check the electrical continuity of the system on a weekly basis as a maintenance item, or if anyone feels a shock. System filter. The system is designed with a large filter in the blower inlet line to stop dirt, dust, and contaminants from passing through the blower. With the unintended operation in dusty and dirty environments, the blower life will not be compromised by contaminants entering the system. Remove the basket from the bottom of the filter canister and dispose of accumulated material at the start of each day. Clean the filter whenever the vacuum valve goes over relief for prolonged periods. After several cleanings, replace the filter. Warning: dust buildup can cause explosion and a fire hazard. Never operate the system with filters removed. Receiver cyclone and airlock. The system is designed to direct the system's intake airflow into a cyclone receiver where large, heavy debris particles fall out into the airlock. The airlock is located under the receiver tank. The collected material drops into an airlock compartment as it turns. As the rotor turns and a compartment moves from its up position to its down position, the material in the rotor compartment will fall out into the hopper bin. Airlock unplugging. If a large piece of debris is drawn into the intake, it can get into the airlock. Stop it and must be removed. Shut off machine, remove power source, and lock out, tag out master control panel. Remove obstruction through the access door on the receiver tank. Manually rotate airlock after obstruction is removed to be sure airlock turns freely and is not damaged. Repair airlock if damaged before resuming work. The central vacuum system is designed with a primary cleaning cyclone that separates the majority of collected material from the airstream. A secondary cyclone further removes fine debris from the airflow before reaching the filter canister. The bottom of the secondary cyclone is designed with a flapper door on the bottom of the assembly to remove any accumulated debris. Open flapper door to empty the cyclone at the start of each day for the best results, more often if required. Operating hints. Lock out, tag out master panel before performing any service or maintenance work on machine or unplugging airlock. Maintain electrical continuity through all components to prevent shock or static discharges. Do not use plastic components. Clean the intake filter whenever the vacuum relief valve goes off for a prolonged period. Replace filter when cleaning frequency is too short. Only after the master panel is locked out, tagged out, remove obstructions from airlock through access door and receiver tank. At the start of each day, open flapper door on the bottom of the secondary cyclone to empty the compartment and minimize the amount of dirt getting to the filter mechanism. Verify that each female connection has a rubber gasket seal in good condition. When on top of material, do not push the nozzle into the pile next to the feet. The suction will pull the nozzle and the operator into the pile. If the pile is deep enough, the operator can be submerged under the material and suffocated. Store hoses and fittings to prevent trip hazards and damage when not in use. Remember, you are the key to safety. Good safety practices not only protect you, but also the people around you. Make these practices a working part of your safety program. Be certain that everyone operating this equipment is familiar with the procedures recommended and follows safety precautions. Thank you for choosing WALINGA Pneumatic Conveying Systems. For your convenience, should you require any information related to parts, service, or technical engineering, please contact WALINGA directly. Canadian toll-free 1-888-925-4642. United States 1-800-466-1197. International 1-519-824-8520.